Welcome to the next installment of Red Hot Replays. Unfortunately, Ezra will not be joining us. Instead, you are left with me. Gun. Oh, you guys messed up now. In case you don't know me, I'm a co-leader over here at Red Hot Heat. Got promoted to co basically by being one of the first people to kind of introduce that 3-star culture, especially at Town Hall 9. But one of the reasons I really wanted to do this replay is because I kind of had that epiphany of how much we're growing as a clan as I started to watch how many people at Town Hall 9s were getting stars. Because I legit remember when I started, it was just me and Hogs. We were the only two trying to actually get 3 stars, and now there's probably about 7, 8, maybe 9 of us, depending on the war and the base. So it's kind of cool. So here's our last war. I mean, they're just a typical 2-star clan. I mean, geez, don't attack the Town Hall 10, 2-star all the Town Hall 9s, and then literally right as it gets to Town Hall 8, we go ahead and start 3-starring. Whereas us, we did damage. We had a disconnect with Ezel, and we 3-starred a lot. We were starting from the top down for whatever reason, and some of these bottom bases, which would have been easy stars, eluded us. A couple of people didn't get to attack. It is what it is. Such is life, right? So let's go ahead and hop into the replays. First up, we got new to the clan, I believe. I'm not all too familiar, only talked to him a little bit, and that's Bish Bash Bosh. I don't know, ex-professional wrestler maybe, the name. Anyway, so what's cool about this replay is this is a cleanup attack after 2 different people attacked it. And not just like 2 slouches, I would say. 2 people that are pretty tenured, right? So he knew where the bombs are. They're right here where he drops his first set of hogs, right here where he drops his second. He's trying to see if he can get one tripped. Unfortunately, he does not, but it's cool. He gets the lure. He drives him to the corner. Now we're just going to use this kind of like a Suicide King tactic. It's basically the Town Hall 8 version of a Suicide King, which is getting the dragon locked onto it and then letting the Wiz follow behind it. Now, I don't necessarily recommend this. I mean, the king can be better used for other things. Most of the time, it doesn't make a big difference. But on one of our next attacks, I'll show a better method that someone else uses, which I really do implore us to use going forward, right? So he doubles down. He didn't get it the first time. He doubles down on getting those giant bomb spots. He understands the importance of getting that done. After that, it's pretty much an Asian wall. He has another giant bomb on the bottom left here where this single archer tower is. It's not going to catch many people. We'll go double speed. Basically from here it's just heal placement, just keeping him under heal. It's not like he has, you know, a bunch of Teslas or, you know, the Town Hall 9 type weapons, your X-bows, any more giant bomb sets. So he just has to keep him under heal. From there they do work. He has a dragon in the clan castle. Something else I would advise against, again, it works this time, you can only be so picky, but if you have all ground troops and then you introduce a random air troop, you're leaving him open to every single air trap on the base, whereas all the ground bases, or ground traps should I say, have already been triggered. So maybe more hogs, something like that may work out better going forward. But again, can't be a stickler. Nice 3-star. Welcome, Bish, Bad Bosh. I don't know which one to refer to you by. I apologize. Next, we have Jacob. So this attack, we have this whole cored out middle part, right? We have the middle part all by itself, and we have the outside buildings in an effort to force us to drop our troops very far away. I think this is a strategy that kind of tries to take away the control of where you drop your troops, but the reality is, if you're familiar with the game, you know where they're going to go anyway. I want to point out this great CC kill. This is what I would recommend over Suicide Kings. You see, he drops barbs and he just drops them one at a time. One at a time, one at a time, until his wizards kill that dragon. He doesn't lose a single wizard. Now, though it might have been better to do his kill on the same side he was starting his hog drop, other than that, the fact that he killed the dragon without losing a wizard and only used 6 barbs is pretty good. So basically, when you have this tight compact like this where all your weapons are, it makes a wall of hogs so effective. They can basically hit every weapon across the whole base at once, and as you can see, they just sweep clean through it. There's not missing a weapon, there's not having to run back to get this, there's not tripping any giant bombs. It's too tight for that. They just run through it. From there, it's cleanup time. He drops a whiz in each of the top sections, let the hogs clean the bottom, Game over, man. Good job, Jacob. I really like the lure. Very well done. And we're rolling, and we're rolling, and we're rolling, and I don't know why I like to let the replay in so it pops up and says 3 stars, right? But nice to see. I digress. Alright, next we're gonna check out KFM. Now KFM, the one I really liked, or the reason I really liked it, not necessarily all technique, although it was a good technique, he got it done. What I really liked is that this set the pace for everyone else. It was a very early attack and it was a 3-star attack. And if the other team is paying attention at all and they see us start 3-starring their bases, they already know they're in for it. Now it's also smart and well done here that he doesn't go super hard on the kill squad because he knows he needs to take out the dragon, he needs to take out the queen. All I need to do is get in one section to take this queen out. Game over, right? So instead of bringing a jump, a bunch of golems and witches, his only goal is to take this queen out. He has 4 heals now for the rest of his hogs, and it really takes a lot to mess up a hog raid when you have 4 heals, no queen, no dragon. Now he's trying to get this double giant bomb set. The one on the left got by the kill squad. Doesn't quite go to plan, and he works around it. Now he's this is kind of the one of the things when you're new to 3-starring, you see you kind of get stuck. It's like a delay. You don't know what to do next. He had a couple of those kind of choppy moments, and as a result, the attack ran along. But the one thing he does that saves it, which is really good, is as you notice, he's already dropped his cleanup at the top. Immediately behind his hogs, he dropped the cleanup because he knows the second these hogs get there, nothing else is touching his stuff. Perfect. So they're working pretty much the whole time the hogs are. Now we have the quad Teslas in the middle, and by the way, anyone, if you see this shape around the building, it's quad Teslas. It always is. You're not fooling us. We're going to see it again in this very replay, and I scouted it, knew it was quad Teslas, and as a result, oh, please, we'll get there when we get there. Just know that thing's good. Alright, so boom, 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 hits the one bomb at a time. He actually doesn't hit the other bomb, which I'm fairly sure is there. And we're cleaning up. Come on, show me those sexy 3 stars. Yeah, that's what daddy likes. Alright, next up we have Sir Pat, who typically is kind of a 2-star guy. He got a 3-star this war, and it's kind of a twofold reason why. First off, his base design. As we can see, you can pretty much touch everything in this base from the core, all the weapons except for this archer tower, cannon, or archer tower, excuse me. Everything else can actually be shot at or shot over a wall at from the inside of this base because it's so open. We still were talking, him and I think James, and they were like, hey look man, you should bring the loons to back it up and to help clean up the outside. So here's what goes wrong, and here's what's really cool about it. So he clears the inside because he doesn't want to let the P.E.K.K.A. go in and get killed by the dragons or whatever's in the CC, because they can get dropped pretty quick. So he clears them out first, then he drops them with the intention of them going straight. But what happens is they clear out the entire section. The next closest thing is like right here, kind of sort of right here. As a result, this is easier for them to get to, and they go, and they end up going on a walk. So I was watching this live and I was like, you know, oh boy, yeah, it's not looking good. They're going on a walk. I said, at least it's gonna be a 2-star. And this is where he changes it all up. Thinking on his feet, watch this. He drops a jump, and it changes the whole outcome of the raid. Because what it does is it redirects the queen inside. So she walks inside, and first off, she cleans up these defenses right here. Drops the tower, drops the other tower, drops the cannon. Then she drops 2 high HP buildings, which I cannot guarantee would have been dropped had she walked around the outside. It just would have kind of been a reach. Not to mention the drags would have, the loons would have had to go against a wizard tower, which might not have worked out for them, I don't know. Because the loons, even though it was kind of a slow drop, and I had one on my raid too, they still take out 7 weapons. The queen sweeps around and takes out the other 3. But what's really important is after she clears this side, she walks all the way through the base and makes a huge difference. Watch this. So she comes, she still has her ability, she's level 17, she drops the last 2 weapons and secures a 3-star. I don't know how it would have shook out had she not jumped inside. So I give him a lot of kudos for that, for really thinking on your feet, because if it had gone perfect to plan and everything had walked inside like he wanted, I could have guaranteed it would have been a 3-star. But the way they went outside, the guarantee wasn't quite so secure. Excuse me. Next, that's what you guys have all been waiting for. Some gun. So I took out the number 3. As we'll step down to Town Hall 10 to take out the number 2. Quick scout. What I noticed on this is very heavy air defenses on the right side, including the archer tower. So pretty much most everything that can take out the air is on this side. Not to mention this shape right here. So I knew we had quad Teslas coming into this, which means I knew my bombs were in here because they had nowhere else to be. So what I decided I could do, because there's no air coverage on the left side, is I could create a huge funnel. So I lure to the left, got my witches, kind of standard stuff, witches, Archer Queen, they're gonna take it out, gotta stay distracted, and then I start a huge minion funnel, which is pretty much about half of the base, really, if you look at the size of it. And what this did was it guaranteed that my people would go where I wanted them to go, which is right in here to the dart collectors and the cannons, and which is right in here to the core. So I didn't plan this, and I did it when I started the raid, and that is I really wanted to make sure that my golem stayed alive and that they got the giant bombs. And as a result of them having the 2x bows and royalty on them, the king and the queen, I drop a heal. I want to keep everyone up while they're fighting the other team, while they're fighting royalty, while the golems are, you know, tanking. I want to keep them up. And you'll see the golems split and hit all the bombs for me. Next, it's just surgical drop on the outside. I start on the cannon, go to the whiz tower, archer tower, archer tower. I pretty much know with the X-bows being on the golems, some of the archer towers are on the golems. I really don't have much to worry about till I get to these Teslas in here. And I would have loved to have been able to drop one heal to cover it all, but because they popped so early, I had to get these hogs and heals first because they would have got shredded up before I got a chance to drop it. So I end up dropping both my heals basically on the area where the Teslas are. Now it works out, and you'll see why. They're actually covered right now through the Teslas. Everything else is not shooting at them. That's engaged. The wizard tower is not going to do much to a pack of hogs, and the cannon's engaged. So it ends up working out. I long since have dropped my cleanup troops. Let's get this thing over with. And now finally, it's time to cut those lights down low, y'all. It's time to get sexy. Bring out those redheads. GoVaLo. Oh yeah. Bad base design, right? Huge core, all my air defenses are there. Not to mention, I have these walls right here and right here, which help me create my funnel. So I start on the corner because he has these corner buildings with the whiz. Drop my golems on the inside, and then I let my whiz just start following up behind him. Drop my witch right behind him, and I drop my jump. Now the difference between what Pat did, and this only comes because I have failed a lot of attacks, so I know what failures look like very early. I drop my Valks quick. Normally I would have liked to have the dragon taken care of, but I had to make sure the Valks go inside, because once this area is cleared, like right now, when I drop the Valks, when the dragon goes down, they would have went over here, which I did not want. So I get him inside, I drop the heal, I clean out the core, and then I come with the loons on the outside. Now again, this is a little bit delayed. You'll notice I dropped the air defenses on the bottom a long time ago. The loons take probably about 7 seconds to get there, so I could have dropped them way earlier when those defenses were engaged. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't make a difference. I think the attack was like 1:40 something seconds, so obviously I ran through these guys, but you know, just for next time, it may not always be that easy where I have that much time. High HP buildings down here, I drop my cleanup there. Now there's a witch straight on me. So she's actually walking the outside up here, handling that for me with the loons. Dropped a swag heal in the middle. Dropped a swag heal last time, I didn't point it out. But yeah, that is what it is, man. Did work, proud of myself. I actually didn't lose either one of my king or queen during this attack and ended everyone with like 1 billion troops. So hey, look, definitely appreciate everyone kicking it with me. Again, this is Gun. Red Hot Replays, signing off.